renegades, relentless, swinging for the fences. Competition never, you must be out of your senses. Whole team greatness, we never warming the benches. Tickets gon' sell out, cheap, Benny expensive. Dynasty, kingdom, legacy, legend. The only one to stop us gotta come down from heaven.
PlayStation.
Renegades, relentless, swinging for the fences. Competition never, you must be out of your senses. Whole team greatness, we never warming the benches. Tickets gon' sell out, cheap, Benny expensive. Dynasty, kingdom, legacy, legend. The only one to stop us gotta come down from heaven.
PlayStation.
MLB The Show 20 comes out March 17th. That gives you plenty of time to start your road to the show before opening day. But there is a way to get MLB The Show 20 4 full days before everyone else does with early access. Pre-order the Digital Deluxe, MVP, or 15th anniversary edition of The Show 20 and you'll receive early access on March 13th. Just look for that early access icon. The special edition content includes a Diamond Legend Choice Pack, giving you an edge and extra time to build your best squad. Pre-order MLB The Show 20 now.
PlayStation.
Did you play MLB The Show 17, 18, or 19? If so, we're rewarding you in The Show 20. Choose the kid, Aaron Judge, or Bryce Harper to join your squad in MLB The Show 20.
PlayStation.
MLB The Show 20 comes out March 17th. That gives you plenty of time to start your road to the show before opening day. But there is a way to get MLB The Show 20 4 full days before everyone else does with early access. Pre-order the Digital Deluxe, MVP, or 15th anniversary edition of The Show 20 and you'll receive early access on March 13th. Just look for that early access icon. The special edition content includes a Diamond Legend Choice Pack, giving you an edge and extra time to build your best squad. Pre-order MLB The Show 20 now.
PlayStation.
Did you play MLB The Show 17, 18, or 19? If so, we're rewarding you in The Show 20. Choose the kid, Aaron Judge, or Bryce Harper to join your squad in MLB The Show 20.
PlayStation.
Welcome, everybody, to another MLB The Show live stream. We're getting closer and closer to launch day. To my left, Luis Martinez, Matt Schaefer, Nick Livingston. We got a lot to talk about today. First of all, custom leagues, those flexible settings, all this cool stuff, competitive events. And we got a legend reveal at the end of the stream, so stick around for that. By the way, Twitch drops, they are enabled. You don't need to put anything in the chat. Just make sure your Twitch and PSN IDs are hooked up. Do that on theshownation.com.
Before we move on, where's Ramon?
Where's Ramon?
No idea.
Somewhere in the world. Ramon, shout out to you. We'll see you back soon, though. He'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Luis, we want to start off, though, with a little bit of a reveal here. That Diamond Variety Pack, it's one of those special edition bonuses.
Yeah, so you can get this choice pack with some cool players in the Digital Deluxe, the MVP edition, and the 15th Anniversary edition. And we're going to show you 2 more players that you can get out of that pack. Let's roll that video. Ooh! So a few reveals, right?
Yeah.
You saw greatest closer of all time, Mariano Rivera, making the choice harder. And then you saw Gary Sheffield.
The big bat wiggle.
Yeah, so Marlins legend, but I have a feeling he's going to be on a few of your all-time team builds since he played for the Yankees, the Braves, the Dodgers, pretty much everywhere. So yeah, the other reveal, though, was what came out from the bottom.
More options.
Of course, there's more options to come, and we'll keep revealing them on upcoming streams.
So what this means is that you're going to have this pack if you get one of those editions, those special editions Luis mentioned, and you're going to have to make a choice here.
That's right.
And that means, though, you could have David Ortiz on your roster day one, Mariano, or Sheffield. Wow.
Now, the interesting thing is, too, the Digital Deluxe has 2 of these packs. So you can get your choice of 2.
Yeah.
Pick 2. Pick 2.
Or you could do what I do and just leave the pack in your inventory because you're crippling doubt.
All right,
Yeah.
you're going to be back with us in a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a legend reveal
right.
to close out the stream, and yeah, I'll be back.
All right, so let's get into custom leagues. We'll see you in a little bit, Luis.
All right,
All right.
get out of here, Luis.
See ya, bye.
See ya.
A little more room now. We can breathe a little better.
Yeah,
so
thank
custom
God.
leagues, Matt,
Yeah.
tell me about it.
It's a mode that we worked on this year. Nick, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. Well, so what? So we some of you know this. In 2018, we burned everything down. We burned everything down and online. We rebuilt it from scratch. So there were a few casualties, and we always needed to have something that let us play with our friends. And we have a lot. We did a lot of research, and we did a lot of searching for what are the essential pieces, because we know this is what we know. Season modes, they mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. You ask two individuals what a season mode needs, what's essential. They list off 5 to 10 things, and only 3 of them match up. What are they, Matt? What are the essential things?
What are the fans?
I thought that was a trick question. I was the number one thing you need is friends. You definitely need
That's
friends.
important.
Friends.
Yes, you need friends.
You need friends.
We're still working on that.
The other things that were a big focus, obviously, were having the flexibility of, being able to play how you want to play and using custom house rules.
House
basically.
rules.
So those were the things we tried to keep in mind putting this mode together for this year. We can dive into it if you guys are interested.
I would love to dive into it.
Let's take a look at custom leagues for the first time in the dev kit. Let's hit it, Colin.
Ooh.
All right. So
Who helped make this possible, by the way?
oh man, I have to thank a lot of people on this one. We had an entire team. We had Brian Waters, we had Rahul, we had John Haney, JP. I think is that it?
Our
Probably
UI
not.
team.
There's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
a lot more.
Oh, myself. I worked on this.
This guy. So tell us about it.
The art team, of course, did a great job. There's a lot of people involved in this. I'm really happy the way it turned out. I think you guys are going to be very excited. So just let's do a quick rundown here. You can see on the left, I'm in a couple leagues already. You can be in 3 leagues this year. You can create 3 leagues, or you can join 3 leagues, or a combination of however you like. So we're going to we'll create a new league here. We're going to talk about that a little bit. So 2 different types of leagues. We want options for people.
Yep.
The MLB Live rosters, which
Let's
are
go.
the rosters you're familiar with in Diamond Dynasty mode, the 40-man live rosters. These are updated frequently by your team, actually. And you see things happen, like ratings go up and down,
Yep.
and Inside Edge is also a part of this.
Yep.
So you'll see that stuff in leagues. For example, if your team has a player that goes from gold to diamond, you'll see that benefit you in your league. If, for example, a guy gets traded, that will not affect your league. If a guy's injured, that will not affect your league either.
Cool.
You'll just get the benefits of it, basically.
Yeah, and that's going to impact the strategy of trades for sure.
Yeah, and trades.
Who do you think's gonna break out this year? Well, go
Exactly.
after them.
But
So-
there are 2 options here, huh?
Yeah, so let me finish on this one right here. Nick mentioned trades, just kind of just
Mm-hmm.
glossed over it there. MLB Live rosters, you can make trades. If you're playing with the Padres, for example, or the Phillies, or White Sox, Marlins, you guys want to make some changes to your team, you can make trades. You can trade those cards away and get different cards and plug them into your roster.
Cool.
That's because we want users to be able to feel like they have control of the roster, and that's one way to do it for sure. Diamond Dynasty collection. So basically, you get your entire Diamond Dynasty collection. Trades are not on in this one, but you get everything. So the way it works is you're not constricted to a certain roster. So if you're playing right now and you unlock a card in the future that comes out potentially, or let's say you get a card from getting back from the end of game and you want to plug it right into your league, you can do that. You don't actually have to say like what I go in with is what I play with. The more and more you acquire, the more you can modify your roster.
It's kind of an open roster, yeah.
Open rosters, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about that a little bit. I'm going to jump in here. Basically, the main difference between the 2 is trades on one side. The other side, you can use your Diamond Dynasty
So that's really the only big difference. So we're going to focus on the left, though, MLB Live rosters, because we don't want to leak anything just yet.
No,
we
no.
got a stream coming up.
No. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on the right one just because there's an extra option I want to show
sure,
off.
go ahead,
Okay?
show 'em.
So I promise not to do
There's
any
just
leaks.
a few legends we want to leak. Real quick.
You
just
promised.
I promise. Steven will be. Luis is yelling at me. I got to be careful here. Okay, guys.
tread lightly.
So take a look at this. So these are your options for creation. We want people to be able to create the league that they want to play in, the things that they want to do with their own custom house rules. So obviously you can name your league. The atmosphere. Basically, this is a way that commissioners and other owners in your league can communicate what type of league this is. Is this going to be a relaxed environment, or is this going to be a very competitive thing? A competitive league, totally up to the commissioner, can say you have to play 3 or 4 games a week. Or maybe relax says you only have to play 1 game a week. So it's very slower pace and not as sweaty, not as try hard, I would say.
Yeah. That's what it said originally. It was sweaty and try hard in the option, but we had to
or
we decided
chill.
to change it, but
Tested positively, just we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, membership, open and private, that makes sense. You just send invites to people, or you can do open public. The amount of teams you can have, minimum is 4.
Okay.
Maximum you can have is 30 teams.
Let's go.
Max team overall. This is for Diamond Dynasty leagues only.
Okay.
You can set this so the max team that they can basically construct is within these constraints. We start at 75, and you work your way up all the way to no limit. So that way, users can feel like they have control of
Fair playing ground.
fair playing ground.
Gotcha.
Exactly. You're not going to potentially come in with a starter Diamond Dynasty team and play against
Right.
Yeah.
Haas and his cheating squad.
So, hey,
Typical.
so if I want to host a Diamond Dynasty tournament with my
Yeah.
friends or
Yeah.
just guys watching on Twitch and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
This is the way to do
this
it, in my
is
opinion.
bread and butter right here.
This is the way to do it, in my opinion. This not to say that the other league isn't competitive, because there's tons of people that want to play that
Right.
way. I myself enjoy playing the other way. Nick, I'm not sure which way you
I want to
prefer.
play with the White Sox.
The White Sox, yeah. So
But
I mean,
I'll probably be in one of each, to be honest with you.
so the thing that's really interesting about this, we had the community guys come out, and they were playing this. I think they had a really great
Yeah,
time. You guys
they
will probably
did.
be able to talk to them some more. And just watching them play a league together, it was really cool. And it was pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited for you guys to get your hands on this. Postseason teams, I'm going to keep going here. You can do 2, 4, or 8, depending on how many people you have in your thing. If you want to have 4 teams, you can have 4 teams make into the postseason as well. Nobody's a loser. Everyone's a winner. Everyone gets...
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I guess people have to, get eliminated for the bracket, so you're going to have to live with that. Innings, you can change the amount of innings you play per game. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. Games per series. This is the one that determines how long your regular season is. So you can say the number of teams times the games per series is how long your regular season is. So you can go 1, 3, 5, 7. So technically you can have a 3-long game regular season. And then if you do 29 teams, which 30 you're the 30th, you can have, I think it was 206 if you picked the 7 option.
3.
3?
That's the calculator.
203, sorry. Colin, pull up the calculator for me.
All right, yeah.
I want to make sure I get these right. Okay, 203, I
See, carry
apologize.
the 1.
My math is a little
and
fuzzy.
Repeating, of course.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fuzzy.
So, moving on, the amount of games you play per postseason round, so you can do that 1, 3, 5, or 7, and then the World Series is separate, so you can change that to as well 1, 3, 5, or 7. So you could have a 5-game postseason round elimination, and then for the World Series do a 7-game. However you guys want to do that, as well as designated hitter. You can do designated hitter in the Diamond Dynasty collection leagues
Breaking news.
or the MLB Live roster leagues. That's totally up to you guys.
Big deal there.
Cool.
Big
Yep.
deal.
So I'm just going to put in a name here real quick because we got to get past this.
No,
No,
we got to back out.
Check.
That's
I'm
right.
not going. I got to go to this screen. Got to go to this screen, guys. All right. This is okay. This is okay. Don't worry. Don't you worry. He's having.
Scared.
He's worried. I'm not going to leak a legend. Okay.
Chad, do you want to leak legend?
Batting difficulty.
Louise.
Batting difficulty. You
Louise
guys
is
can set
popping
this all the way from rookie to legend. Same thing with pitching difficulty. For those that love guest pitch, those that don't, you can turn that on and off. Quick counts. Some people love them. Some people don't.
Right.
Balks.
No,
Spore.
no, but Paul. yeah.
Spore likes
Sport
balks.
be the
Yes.
only person who turns it
So-
off. No one else,
yeah.
but, it's an option.
Umpire, the settings we have, perfect, average, personalized, and then close plays. All of these have a description above. If you're not familiar with it, you can
Yeah.
read through it.
And you can argue about them and figure it out between
Yes.
yourselves.
Yes.
What I'm seeing here,
Yeah.
flexibility,
Yeah.
customization. I mean, just
Yeah.
really whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And this is for the people that want to create those leagues. If you don't want to create those leagues, we'll talk about those in a second. I like that.
Literally
Well, it's-
flexible.
Oh, that's impressive. We'll talk about that in a second. For people that don't want to create them, you can find a league that's already out there that also fits your need.
Right.
I'm not going to go, but I have to keep showing some screens here. You're going to pick your team next.
My gosh.
Okay?
So
So select your team. One more screen after this. This is where you would invite your friends. You don't have to do it at this point. You can. You can do it at a later point. And then you would go down here, click
And
this
then you
button.
click that.
Stephen Haas
Then
would
you
freak
leave
out.
the legends. Steven is sweating right
Once
now.
you create this, the league is then formed, invites are sent, and then you are ready to roll. I'm going to back out here
We
for
made it.
I do something
We're
I shouldn't.
safe, sort of. For now.
All right. So, now, if you didn't want to create one, you can go in here and you can search for one, right? So, every single option you just saw in there, you can toggle through here, and you can say, I only want to play
Yeah.
all-star batting difficulty
Right.
with,
Yeah.
Hall of Fame pitching and it needs to be a MLB Live roster. You can do that, and what it's going to do is obviously going to sort out all the stuff that you don't want to see and find that league for you.
It's going to find all those beautiful weirdos.
We found one.
Yeah, this is a super cool league.
Just like you.
The other thing you can do is, so you can see, you can roll through this list of leagues that come up. We have only one here because it's the dev environment, but you'll see all the options for the league here. You'll see other options over here. If you were to press square, you can find your friends' leagues. You can find leagues if you know the name of it, for example, the commissioner name. So this would go by your PSN ID. If someone says, oh, join Nick's league, for example, he could share that. Everyone could find it that way if they wanted to. Forming just kind of brings them all back and turns off that stuff. When you go to join a league, if you press X on a league, you can view the members in the league, which show you the teams that are already taken, and it also shows you, like, is this one of my friends in this league? I want to make sure. There you go. You can double check that.
Right.
When you join a league, I'm going to try to join this league and show you guys something. You see that same screen, and you also see the teams that are taken. So the Phillies are taken here, and the Padres are taken
locked.
here.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I wanted to take the Braves. You can click on that team. You can join the team. You can view the roster. So you can see the current state of that roster, and if they've made any trades, if someone else was an owner of this team, what's going on. You can toggle through each position and see what's changed, what's by default. So I'm going to back out here. That's how you would find a league. There's another one, too. If you get a league invite, you'd come down here, and it just sits right there.
So and you've been invited here.
Yes, someone sent me this invite to join their league. It pops up right there.
That must feel good.
That
must just feel nice.
It does.
Yeah.
I sent it to myself though, so
Okay, well.
I don't think that counts.
Well, I'll count.
Same thing. Join, decline, view members, just like you just saw. I'm not going to go through that again.
Right.
All right. So that would be setting up a league as a commissioner or joining a league as someone who wants
you
to
only
play.
need one commissioner to set it up. And
Correct.
It could be like 30 guys total.
30
players.
guys max. Yep.
The best of you, hopefully. We'll see. Everybody knows those commissioners that just, they might ruin the league. It's fine. Join
Now,
another one.
The commissioner has to play. Is that right?
The commissioner has to play. Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. So let's jump into this. Here's the MLB league that I created earlier and populated it so you guys can see some stuff. This is the front landing page of every league you'll be in. This is what we're seeing here is the current state of the league. We're in the regular season. We have the standings over here to the left. You guys are familiar with that. This is the new area. That's pretty cool. So what we're calling this is the message board and then the news area. You can see here everything that's going on in the league. And so if you were just come online, you can see what's going on. You can see here that things have been going on. People are sending messages. Things are happening. Games are being simmed. There's updates going on. This is your entire hub for like what's the heartbeat of your league.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can see everything. You can press square. You can just see the message board, people that are in your league sending messages.
Yeah.
Or you can just hit news and see just news. So you can filter it out the way you like it. I prefer to see all, honestly, because it just tells you everything that's going on. Every once in a while, you might want to toggle over to just see some messages if you're trying to communicate with people through this. It's a really cool thing, and I'll show you some stuff here. You can see some things already, but I'll show you some stuff as we continue to talk about this right here. So I'm going to tab over here to the play section. This would be, we talked about flexibility.
Yeah.
So this is a league here I created with 4 people, and we have, I believe it's 3 games each that you have to play against each opponent. So you can see there, I'm the Padres. I have 6 games remaining. I've already completed 3 games against the Rangers there.
That first kind of dark
Knocked
one.
them
Yeah,
out.
so it says the series is complete there. So now I have 3 games remaining against those other 2 teams. I can play them in any order that I want. I don't have to play the Cubs next. I don't have to play the Brewers next. So if they're online, you just play the games. It's as simple as that.
So Nick and I we got to face each other 3 games. We're on. It's a Friday night. We just knock them all out right then and there.
Yeah,
If
so
you like.
let's say I got home later and then I wanted to play our games. We could do that, but I
Okay.
couldn't play all 3. Let's just play one and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be flexible, and we don't want people to be waiting around for other people. So you can just go ahead and play your games. Like Nick could technically play all his games, be done his games, and we're still playing ours, and we have to catch up to Nick.
Okay.
So we want the commissioner to be able to have that flexibility to say, like, play it at your pace, but let's make sure we keep these things moving.
Cool.
So let's go over here to the tab. So this is how the teams. This is the squad screen. We were using the Diamond Dynasty thing. I designed this last year for Diamond Dynasty. It's a good screen. I wanted to use it here as well. So this is the My Squad screen from Diamond Dynasty. Very similar thing. You can see down here. This guy here is the new guy. This is our DH. So you better go in there and modify your DH.
We're a little thin right there.
Yeah,
we got to improve that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
you can modify your team just like you would on the other screen. You notice there it says the league restrictions are at the top are good. We don't have to worry about that. That's the DD thing I was telling you about, where we can restrict other people. This is something new too. You guys can see that there's energy here. So we have energy for pitchers.
Yep.
So that way you can't just use one good pitcher. You have to move through your rotation and stuff.
Yep.
And that way, go ahead, sorry.
That's a big deal. That energy, guys, right there. You're going to hear a lot more about that. Kyle Blake's going to join us in that Diamond Dynasty stream, talk about why energy is important this year.
Yep.
Huge deal.
Sneak peek.
Energy.
So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show this off. We're very similar to how it works in Diamond Dynasty. Pretty cool layout, pretty cool look. Wanted to show. If you were in a Diamond Dynasty League, obviously, you wouldn't just have Padres here. You'd have everybody else in your collection.
And we got Inside Edge on there as well.
Let's jump back in there. Sorry.
Kind of those daily matchups that get generated. We have a great partner there with Inside Edge.
Yep.
And so depending on, like, Nick, you got a guy there, Manny Machado. Let's say he's killing against lefties. He's facing a lefty today in real life. What do you see here in the game?
Yeah, it'll be reflected. So if he's got a good matchup in real life, you see it bumps him from an 84 to an 87.
Right.
And he'll play a little bit better today in the game.
So when we're talking about, those rosters that are getting updated through the year, Diamond Dynasty and everything else, it's also happening right here in custom leagues. So it's kind of a really dynamic way to play with your friends here.
Yes, correct. And I just saw a question here. Yeah, so you can actually pick your starter in this mode. That's the whole point of the energy. So you're not doing a random, in leagues, you're not doing a random, pitcher wheel like you would see in Diamond Dynasty. You're actually selecting the pitcher you want. He's going to take an energy hit, and you're going to have to think about the strategy of who you're going to pitch next, and, can I bring this guy back in? Because there's going to be consequences if you do. He's going to be tired.
Interesting.
Management choices.
Yep.
So, you mentioned my DH.
DH, we got to do something. He's a 68 overall.
So, we talked about trades. Here's how the trades work in MLB leagues. So, basically, you can go in here, you can offer a trade.
Nice.
In this case here, I want to improve, let's say,
who wouldn't want Joey Gallo?
Joey Gallo, right?
Yeah.
And,
Good luck.
This is Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham.
He hasn't even played.
Tommy Pham.
Poor guy.
Tommy Pham.
Cardinals fans,
That's for Doug. That's for Doug. So let's say I thought that was a good trade. I were to offer that trade. It goes out to that owner.
There you go.
You can see here. This is my trade inbox. You can also get to this by just going here and say view my pending trades.
Nice.
So you see here, I have the little paper airplane. That means that the trade was sent out, and then I have one that's incoming. This is someone sent me a trade. This looks like a really good trade that I'm.
So someone wants Kirby Yates from your team?
Yeah, someone's trying to get Kirby Yates from me.
Yeah,
and
we
they
all
wanna
know
give
that guy.
Schwarber.
Yep.
Kirby doesn't look happy on the right there.
No.
He's like, don't do it, man.
No.
Don't do it.
So obviously you have the option when you press X to accept, reject, or counteroffer.
Yeah.
I'm just going to straight reject this because I don't like that trade.
Then you circle back into the chat room. You say, Shafe, terrible trade. You're trash, and then you go back to continuing the trade.
Exactly. So now that owner that just sent me that trade will get a message on that news page you saw on the front that trade was rejected. That's only to him. It won't spam to everybody else. It's just to him. So he can be informed what's happening, what's going on.
Can you counter this trade, or how does that work?
So because I sent the trade and I'm waiting for him to respond, the only thing I can do is withdraw the trade. So I can take it away and be like, never mind, I don't want to do that. Which is, from the looks of it, people don't like this trade right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take that trade away. Yeah. So now I have.
Embarrassing.
I would love to, but. So now I don't have any more pending trades. I would wait till trades come in, or I could send some more out to improve my team. One of the other things we have here is the update trade block. This is something that I can't even take responsibility for. This is something that the MTO guys that worked on MTO this year made a really, really cool screen that is going to, you're basically going to see it in MTO. There's another leak for
March to October.
March to October, thank you. And I don't want to show it off because they worked really hard on it, honestly. But I will say it's super cool. And you guys watch the MTO stream. You'll see this screen in Diamond Dynasty, not Diamond Dynasty, in custom leagues. And
so that streams next week from March to October.
Correct.
We're going to get to see that.
Yeah.
See what you can do to kind of let people know what you need, what you don't. All right, got it.
What I will show you though is I want to go in here. So after you update your trade block, and other people in your league update their trade block, you can go look at those trade blocks. So you go to something like this, and here's my trade block. So you can see this is what I sent out to the league, and everyone's informed that this is what I want, right? So this would post back on the main page and say, hey, the Padres are looking for this. This is what they're willing to give up, and it just keeps everybody in touch with what's going on in the league. It's a really cool way to, I think, facilitate that social connection you have with other people in your league.
Yep.
We were talking about that schedule. If you want to jump back to it, like,
Yeah.
what if I'm done playing my games for the whole league?
Yeah.
Can I start? Can I make trades with Nick or something? Like,
No,
even though we're done?
No. So how this works? Let me go back in here. So if I go into trades and the offer trades, these leagues have a trade deadline.
Trade deadline.
So
All
you can
right.
see at the top here, I have a trade deadline in 3 games.
Right.
The way it works, it's always 2/3 of the regular season games that you have. So once I hit that
Second
2/3,
game, yeah.
I can no longer do any more trades.
Yeah.
So that's just unique to me. It doesn't mean it applies to you or
Yeah.
you. So like, let's say if Nick plays all his games, he's
Right.
obviously past his trade deadline. You and I can still trade.
Because we haven't played 2/3
Yeah.
of our games.
Correct.
Okay.
Once
Keep
we
an eye
hit
on
the
it.
2/3, all trades that are out there from that team become invalid. We take them away, and that person can no longer trade. Because what we obviously don't want is people to be in the
Right.
postseason and being like, "Hey, give me your guys. Okay, I didn't make it. Sure, take these
Right,
guys."
right.
You know, we want it to be fair, and we want everybody to be able to be on the same playing field. So what I think it actually is going to do is going to make some interesting times around the trade deadline. People are going to want to say, "Hey, before I play my game, is anybody out there
Exactly,
willing
yeah.
to trade?" And it's going to facilitate that,
Like
like,
check in.
hey, let's improve our teams. Let's do something
Nice.
that works for everybody.
So we're going through here custom leagues. If you're just joining us here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, we're going through Matt Schaefer, Nick Livingston. Ramon's on assignment, out of the building right now. He'll be back, don't worry. We still have a legend reveal coming up. Let's keep going with custom leagues.
Sure, yeah. So going down the stats, you guys know what stats look like. I'm going to jump in real quick. You get player stats, obviously. So the way the player stats works in custom leagues, you get season stats. There won't be career stats. There will be season stats. At the end of that season, those stats will be wiped, and then you'll start all over with a brand new season, all new stats. The things that we do keep are wins and losses, and what you can do is you can go to the screen like this, the team stats, and you'll be able to see what was your best
Okay.
season in this league, what was your previous season. It only applies to this league. So if Nick does really well in a different league, you won't see his best season here. You'll see his best season for this league only. Same thing with the previous season. So we're trying to keep that so that people can kind of be like, okay, I'm going to improve this season or whatever, but we can't keep everything. So
Right. That way Nick remembers how many World Series he's
Exactly.
won. And he can tell us every day.
Great.
Yeah, I don't need a stat
and
for that.
I'll get to
remember.
I'll get
Not
to
too
that.
worried
That's
about
another
that.
thing that we're keeping
True.
around too. So that's pretty much it for stats. Those I just want to spend much time on
Sweet.
that, honestly. When we go over here to the league management stuff, this is where the commissioner really can take control of the league and keep things moving. We want to give them as much tools as possible to keep the thing flowing, because people just sitting around waiting for games or things like that, it's not going to be fun. We want to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So we have game management here. So as a commissioner, you can come in here and
Okay.
you can look at every game that's being played by. I'm looking at the Padres right now. You can see I've played 3 games. Let's say I was to play the Cubs here, and let's say something happens. Like, let's say the game's contested. Something you maybe thought, I don't know, I cheated or something. You can reach out to the commissioner. You can reach out to the commissioner, and you can say, hey, I want to contest that game. Can you please go in there and take a look at that?
Right.
So in the case here, I'm a little ahead of myself here. Let me go back to one of the games that I've already played. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, there you go.
You can go in here as the commissioner,
Yep.
and you can reset that game. So you can take that game away, and that game can be played again. Now, let's say, for example, on the opposite side of that, let's say I go out of town for a week, and I'm not available to play my games. The
Yeah.
commissioner can go in there and say, I can randomize the winner between these 2 games to
Right.
keep the league moving forward, or you can go give this guy the win, give that
Yeah.
guy the win,
Right.
in case something happens. Like, let's say I was like, give all my wins away,
Right.
because I'm not going to be able to make it anymore.
This is a lot of power for the commissioner to wield here. We got the judge and jury right here.
Correct.
Of course.
So in this case here, you can randomize the winner. You can give a win. When you do this, I'm going to pick randomize the winner. When you select this option, you'll have the ability to generate stats for that game, or not generate stats.
What do you think about that?
I'll
Don't get
tell
those
you what
fake
I think.
stats out of my face.
Nick does not like fake stats.
No, I don't like fake stats.
I
It's just a
love
personal
stats of all
opinion. It's
kind.
fine.
I love stats of all kind. I don't care if they're fake. I don't
Yeah.
care because to me, I want to just see what happened in that game, even if it is a
Right.
simulated game.
So help me understand. If you pick no, don't simulate the fake stats. What's the only result?
The
there?
only result would be the win is given to the
Okay.
team that you pick, or if it's randomized, a random
Okay.
team will be picked. No stats will be generated and applied to the
You can kind of
pool.
protect your average,
Correct.
your ERA, or whatever.
And when you
Okay.
reset those games, the same thing will happen. It will remove those stats should there be stats in that game. So I'm just going to sim a game here. Fingers crossed. Okay. So you can see here, here's the results for some of the games.
Undefeated. No, 3-1.
And you can tab through and you can see every single team. This is a good way for the commissioner to go through at the top. You can see there their record, how many games they have remaining. You might have to reach out to the Brewers and say, come on, play some games, man. Everyone else is way ahead of you. We need you to play your games. Or, if they need to, do something about it. Simulate the games.
I can imagine with like a 30-team league, this is useful. This is going to be really necessary at times.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
For sure. And that's what we want to give the commissioner that power. The one thing about the commissioner is that the commissioner may not always be available, right? So that's where we talk about this. And we go to the member screen
Right,
here.
you go out of town, you're the commissioner, what happens here?
What I can do is I can go to the member screen here, and I can assign permissions to people. So in the case here, you say give permissions. That would give the person every permission there is in the league. So for example, being able to do game management, advancing the league from regular season to postseason, postseason to forming state, modify sliders, modify settings, remove members from the league. Because as a commissioner, and if you're not around, you want that league to keep moving.
That's
so
right.
if I trust someone like Haas, not Nick, obviously, I could give him co-commissioner so he could keep things moving for us and trust that he's not going to abuse those powers. And if he were to abuse those powers, I can just kick him out of the league. Because, like I said, if someone's not playing their games...
Yeah, you got to get that train moving.
Yeah, you got to get them out. So what happens if a team gets kicked out of a league, they become a CPU team. And they can remain as a CPU team. You can play against the CPU, and someone can replace that CPU team at any point. So if I were to try to fill that void, send out invites to my other friends, they can come in and take that position over as that team.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about some
flexibility,
other stuff.
customization.
Yes. So let's talk about some sliders. So we got sliders, obviously. Again, we want people to be able to play they want to play. Some people might say we need more power in this league. Some people say there's too much. You can take that away. There's tons of options you can go through here and you can mess with. And I think this one at the very bottom is the one that people really, really like.
We're gonna
go hurricane style. Hurricane style wins. Let's
How
do
strong
it.
does that get up to?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I will get back to you on that. I'm sure it's pretty good though. So yeah. So one thing that's cool about this is, as the commissioner or co-commissioner, whoever has the rights to do this, you can change these things. So let's say, for example, I wanted to bump up power. Well, we prevent sneaky things from happening, right? Let's say I'm playing my games and I want to bump the power up. So I bump the power up. The thing that's cool about this is it's going to let everyone know in your entire league, hey, someone changed the league's sliders, and it's going to tell you exactly who changed it.
So that's at the very bottom there.
That's a debug name you see there, obviously, but if your name was a real PSN name,
oh, no, I know that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Q8A7195.
Nick changed the sliders because he's trying to bump up the power.
It's a dirty cheater.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys.
Sorry, it's just your day, man. So that's with the sliders. Let's talk about settings here. So league settings, you can go in here, and it's dynamic to the phase that you're currently in. So you want to change some things are locked to protect you from getting in a bad state. Other things are dynamic, and you can modify them as you go on. You can change the name of your league at any point. You can change the type of atmosphere. Let's say we all want to go back to a more relaxed, and we want to get people who are kind of more relaxed in the league. You can let that know. You can close it off to be an invite only. The amount of teams can be changed in the forming state. You can increase those teams. And if right now we're in the regular season right now? Sorry, I don't know what stage we're in. Yeah, we're in the regular season. Okay. So we're in the regular season right now. So you can see that I can modify some of the postseason stuff. For example, I can say, I want to say postseason rounds best of 3 and 5. So if you're in the postseason, obviously you can't do that kind of stuff. So what we're trying to do is allow the user, because sometimes people might start a league and be like, 3 innings, let's bump it up to 6. So now you can start playing 6-inning games, and you can modify that stuff.
Yeah. And will some of these change once you go to the postseason as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can change it up in between seasons.
Yes,
too,
absolutely.
And you can
in the forming state.
add more teams.
Exactly.
So define what's the forming state? That's the beginning before season. Anyone plays a game.
Yeah. The way I think of it is like a giant triangle, right? So it's the forming state, goes from the forming to the regular season, then from the regular season to the postseason. Okay. And once you get to the postseason, you can go back to the forming season, and that forming state is basically where you can say, Doug left the league, we got to refill his spot, or hey, let's take a break because everyone wants to, just chill and play something, that's not leagues, for example.
Of course, MLB The Show.
Maybe they want to play some Diamond Dynasty or something for a little bit. I don't know. But the ability to modify those settings, take a break, and then roll back into a regular season.
Cool.
I think that's a good point that I didn't mention earlier. This is a multi-season experience. So you can just keep playing multiple seasons. And as quick as it is to just go through season after season after season, there's no limit.
Right.
So that's the idea behind it. Gameplay
you need a
settings.
drink or anything?
Yeah,
you
I'm
are
sorry. I'm
going,
sorry.
man. Here we are, 33 minutes into the Custom
Holy
Leagues
smokes.
stream, Matt.
That
Nick,
is
Steven
on.
here.
I hope you guys
go.
like in-depth because I am sweating. All right, here we go.
The deep dive. This is
All
why
right.
you come to the stream.
Gameplay settings. Let's say you started season and it's All-Star, but everybody's really good and they say, hey, we want to play on Hall of Fame. You can bump that up to Hall of Fame mid-season. I know that sometimes you have players that are better or worse, and as they play the game, they get better. So you might want to bump that up. You're allowed to do that mid-season. You can also do that in the forming state. And you don't need to be locked to a certain, you can say Hall of Fame for this,
Right.
All-Star for that. Guest pitch. Some people like it, some people don't.
Right.
You can turn that on and off. Quick counts, balks, these things are all things that, depending on the feedback, as a commissioner, you have the tools to change and modify however you want.
Cool.
All right. So, probably the saddest,
Oh, yeah. The saddest panel.
the saddest panel in the league,
Oh man.
abandon league. As a commissioner, as a user, you can abandon your league.
It happens, you guys.
Before
it
you,
happens out
before
there.
you, since I'm the commissioner here, you
Right.
have the option to delete the entire league. Obviously, it's gone.
I can't wait to see the drama on Twitter. To
Yeah.
be honest with you,
There's gonna be
that's
some-
the main reason it's in
There's
there.
going to be some beef. But a better option,
Delinquent commissioners here.
the better option would be to quit the league if you're a commissioner, so they can
pass on the
pass it
torch.
on, pass the torch, and
Yeah.
Haas could run it. 'Cause
Skip town, get out of
Yeah.
there, but don't delete it.
So if you were to quit the league in this case, instead of delete the league, it's going to prompt you to choose a new commissioner, and it's going to say, we need a new commissioner who can run this. You can then pass the torch on to somebody who's a user in your league,
Yeah.
and they can continue your legacy in running this league.
All right.
So that's how that works. All right.
Nice.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a lot.
So the regular season,
That was
I think we've
a
covered
lot.
like the two parts of the isosceles triangle or whatever it was.
Isosceles.
Obtuse.
I'm sweating a little. Okay, let's go into postseason now.
It's
all right?
not a race. Yeah.
So now we're in the postseason.
This is great.
The regular season just ended. I did this because obviously we don't want to sim all those games and stuff. I have another league set up here for the postseason.
Nice.
Um,
Of course,
yeah.
in the Phillies.
The Phillies.
okay, look,
Shocking, really.
I may have simmed some games, but I didn't do the World Series, and that's just legit.
Uh-huh.
So here we go. So you have the bracket. In this case here, we have I believe it's 4 teams, 4-man bracket. You can, like I said earlier, you can have a 2-man bracket, you can have an 8-man bracket, you can have a 4-man bracket. In this case here, you go in there, you play your games. The wins, of course, obviously get tracked. In the first round, you see you have a best of 3. The next round, you have a best of 7.
So the World Series
That's
had
what they
more
said,
game because that was one of your custom
Exactly,
settings. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
see here that, like I mentioned earlier, we played some games, we simmed some games. The winner was announced. The World Series is now over. So what the users can do, I forgot to mention too, one thing that's interesting is if you get kicked out of the league, and you don't, not kicked out, I'm sorry, if you don't make the postseason, you still can hang around. You don't have to necessarily be like, oh, this
Yeah.
is over with. You can actually still challenge people to games.
Okay.
It just doesn't impact the bracket. So
Gotcha. There
if
you
you're
go.
just waiting around, you can play games and stuff like that. So there's even something for people that don't make the postseason to do.
There you go. For Nick.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, for me, yeah, good one.
right.
We used to call that the toilet bowl in fantasy leagues. I
So
don't
let me show you here. So we went through the postseason. We played all of our games here. The very next thing you could do is if we wanted to click this button right here, advance to league forming. You press that button, and now you're back into the league forming state. Postseason's over, and now you're back to like we just created the league again. We can
Right.
invite new teams. We can invite new owners. I'm sorry, or we can change those settings like we mentioned about.
Cool.
The cool thing about the postseason too is that you'll be able to have like the postseason presentation and the
Okay.
postseason atmosphere. The presentation guys worked with me on this. They did a great job in getting that feel of what a postseason game feels like.
It'd be cool to see that.
Yeah, Colin, I actually have, earlier I was playing with the White Sox in one of my leagues, and
Good for you.
I won the
Good
World
choice,
Series.
Matt.
Colin, I don't want to spoil the video for you
Good
guys,
choice.
but Colin, can you go to that, please?
Classic.
Phillies.
Okay.
It wasn't the White Sox.
Phillies
won.
It was the Phillies. That was a great game.
Who was the
Okay.
MVP? Just curious.
I believe it was the guy to the left of
Oh,
the
yeah,
statue right
yeah.
there.
Nice.
So
No, the guy with the atrocious Photoshop. logo.
yeah, no, but it was
MS Paint or
so you'll see something like this in the league. Minus my face. You'll see something like this in the league if
Yeah.
your team wins the World Series. You'll see the presentation. You'll see the love.
It's like really cool
Yeah.
atmosphere.
You
It kind
know-
of brings you into it.
Yeah.
like this is just the beginning. We're seeing a lot of requests for stuff. If Matt's face is high on that list,
Yeah.
let us know because we are
Yeah.
going to be keeping a close eye on
But
where we go next with it.
There's an interesting thing that people don't know about Nick. Actually, Nick.
There's a lot of interesting
Nick-
things people don't know about me.
Nick is a huge Phillies fan.
Okay.
He's just afraid
Wait,
to admit
we're
it.
Do you have
Scratch
proof of
that.
this?
Yeah.
This
Do
is
you have
going to
proof?
be
Actually, hey Colin, can you go to the next slide? Look at this here.
okay.
Can you explain this situation?
I can't explain.
Where
that.
were you when the
That
Phillies
is
won the
an
World
imposter.
Series?
He
So
was-
what happened was these people, you guys are springing. I didn't know about this.
No, we didn't
They're
tell you.
springing this
No.
on me.
No.
And that was, they kidnapped me. They drugged me. I think
No.
they scanned me with some sort of a futuristic device, and they
Thrill
put me in a
season.
Phillies thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even hold hot dogs like that. What?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Actually,
look at the
here, hold on a
ketchup on the
second. Colin,
bun.
do me a
What
favor,
kind of-
Colin.
You gonna zoom in on
Colin,
it?
go to the next. Go to the next.
Of
Look at
course
that.
you
Look
are.
at that. Check this out.
Classic.
Look at the way this
Classic.
dude puts ketchup
Yeah.
on his hot dog.
Yeah, this is.
Is this a sandwich?
This is
What are you
slander.
doing to this?
This is gonna be a lawsuit at the end of this, and
Look, I need.
Colin is gonna have to chop this stream up
You got
and
some
post
explaining to
so
do.
bad before it gets posted publicly. It's really this is a travesty.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about walking off.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it.
He didn't know about this.
I would.
Yeah, you guys didn't plan for me walking off either, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
So. Okay. Well, on a more serious note, so you win the postseason, you win the World Series. Let's say you make it to the postseason. We're also going to keep track of that stuff too. Let me go in here real quick. You can see here every team gets a notch for being in the postseason, and you can see that this team here gets a World Series win. So let's say you play 5 seasons, you'll be able to see how did that play out. How many World Series wins does this guy have? How many postseason appearances is that? Sorry, I had a really crazy. I had a really crazy
He
burp
ate
right
that
there.
hot dog earlier, and now he's trying to.
I was looking at that
digest
relish
it.
on that hot dog, and I was just like, "Whoa." Okay.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
40 minutes. We can do
Sorry.
this.
All right. So
40 minutes in. Should
All right,
we
look.
apologize now or later?
look,
No.
so that's pretty much leagues. Okay, I think I covered a lot of stuff, but I know we had some questions.
Oh.
I went on all the deepest parts of the internet, and I grabbed.
Yikes.
All right, we don't want to answer any of
Yeah.
those.
Oh,
That's-
that's unrelated.
That's why
I got
HR
some
was at his
questions.
desk earlier.
I
All
got
right.
some questions here.
Train's
Okay.
going off the tracks. All right, so there were some questions. We were looking earlier at whether you chose that MLB roster league
Yeah.
or if you want a Diamond Dynasty. Let's say we go that Diamond Dynasty route. Creative player, always a bit of a controversial topic, whether you have them or not.
Yeah.
Can you add creative players into custom leagues for that Diamond Dynasty option?
You cannot use creative players
Okay.
in Diamond Dynasty leagues.
But like we said, if Ken Griffey Jr. comes out in Diamond Dynasty, I add him into my inventory. I can add Ken Griffey Jr. though, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
you're not locked into a particular DD roster.
Mm-hmm.
You have your entire collection to use.
Collection is
Now
live.
you may have to make some tough decisions if there's a restriction on your league,
Right.
or if a guy goes from gold to diamond, all of a sudden you're over that overall bump. But yeah, no, you can use your collection, how you see fit.
Cool. All right. Another one here. We've got, let's see. You talked about at the end of a season, let's say Nick just didn't play a lot of his games. We had to sim a lot of it. What do we do with his team at the end of the year if he's been kind of MIA?
So if let's say Nick was a bad owner in the
I'm
league,
sitting right here.
as a commissioner,
We've been mean to him today.
I could kick Nick out of the league. His
Right.
team will remain and go to a CPU team.
Right.
And so we could play against his team as a CPU. I'd be playing against the CPU.
And
But
to
what
recap,
what I would
could
try to
create
do,
my own league,
yeah,
and I could invite other people.
yeah. So if we wanted to, we could try to replace Nick and his team with another owner. So I would say, let's try to find somebody. That's what I would try to do as a commissioner. Some people may want to just play with the CPU teams.
I've got a question about trades here. So let's talk about trades, which is those MLB live rosters.
Yeah.
So if we did that trade for Joey Gallo, you've got Joey Gallo in season 1.
Yeah.
We roll over that season to number 2. Do you still have Joey Gallo, or do the rosters kind of reset?
No, you still have your roster.
Okay.
So if I made any changes to my roster through trades, I'll have those players on my team moving into the next season and the season beyond that.
You would make that trade.
Yeah.
All right, so how about stats? I think this is our last one here from the community. They're asking about stats. If I'm in 2 leagues,
Yeah.
those player stats, those team stats, those stats stay within the league, or does it kind of travel with my profile all around, and my batting average and ERA get reflected of all my combined leagues?
So the way that it works, it's league specific. So if you have a player in League A, let's say,
Right.
his stats is to that league.
Okay.
If you have him in a different league, then it's to that league. It's not carried, and it's not like combined or averaged or
Okay.
anything like that as far as leagues go.
Good to know. Good to know. You got any other questions, Nick?
No more questions.
All right, so that's it. 43 minutes of custom leagues.
Yeah.
Boom.
Good job, Matt. We're not done, though. In fact, we still have the legend reveal like we promised you, but we actually have another part of the stream, pretty big. Competitive events were part of this, which is a great segue from leagues to competitive events.
Yeah, so we've got, I think, our last 19 competitive event happening right now. I want to remind everyone out there, we're game developers. If it isn't obvious from this stream, we are not doing this professionally. No, we are making the game professionally. So you've seen a lot of streams before now focused on gameplay. Our focus is on making the competitive foundation of the game as strong as possible so that we'll be able to continue to grow competitive events for you guys out there, and we trust that the people who are going to do that are going to do a great job if we make a game that rewards the best player in the competitive landscape. However, we have a close eye on these things, and we want them to just keep getting better. So we're going to bring in Jax, one of our producers who's worked on it, and he's going to talk about what we've done on that effort.
So, Jackson,
What's up?
talk to us. Oh, look at that round of applause. This is your debut on the couch, right? So, Jax,
Hair looks great.
MLB The Show 20, competitive events. This isn't just like kind of talk. We actually spent a lot of time thinking and adding new parts to MLB The Show 20. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the big takeaway from 19 is that we heard your feedback, and like Steven and Nick said, we've been trying to implement a lot of changes that'll make your lives easier in the competitive realm. So let's walk you through kind of what the new tournament flow is going to look like. Colin, if you could go to the first slide for us. So what you can see right here is the sign-up phase of the tournament. This is going to be pretty much unchanged from last year. You'll still go to the PlayStation OS. You'll sign up for your tournaments there. But the next part is something new that we've implemented. So if you can go to the next one, Colin. As you can see right here, you'll get a pop-up notification that tells you when your match is ready. And the new thing that we implemented is automatic matchmaking to help streamline the process of connecting to your opponent. And this is going to really help you jump right into game. No more worrying about seeding. No more worrying about who's home, who's away. Jumps you right into a game lobby and lets you play your game right there. So we've really streamlined that process and made good strides there.
How am I going to make my roster? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so this is something else that's very exciting. If you could go to the next slide, Colin. We've introduced BR Draft into our tournaments this year. So
New structure.
Yep, new structure, BR style, and we've got some interesting things going on with BR.
Yeah, you're going to see some, not this stream, we're not going to spoil too much, but the meta will change in BR, in the BR draft scene, so you'll see a little bit more of that in the future.
For sure. And make sure that there's an even playing field and adds a little bit of strategy in there with who you draft, who don't you draft. And
So let's say we draft that team, we play our games.
Yep.
What happens after the game ends?
So, Colin, go to the next slide. After the game ends, you will have automatic matchmaking this year, which is a huge improvement.
And reporting here.
And reporting, exactly. So you'll be able to see who won the match. It'll get reported automatically so that you don't have to jump in and report, okay, I won this game. Nobody will be able to pull one over on you and say,
exactly.
oh, I really won that game. So it should be a much more streamlined process, and hopefully you guys really like that, because we're listening to you. We heard that these were some of your pain points.
So the show 20 is going to be a great time for any. Obviously, a lot of you guys have been playing in those tournaments, but those of you that have been thinking about it, now's a great time to jump in, fully integrated into the game, easier than ever to get involved in. So go try it out.
For sure. And just kind of to end off here, we love hearing your feedback, and we're always listening for it. So please let us know what you think, and we're always open to making changes and tweaks to make this the best place to play competitively.
So while we're not announcing the next tournament today, stay tuned for those announcements. Of course, the Show Nation will have them, or in-game you'll see them as well, and in the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jax. We're going to swap you out as we finally get to that really exciting part of the stream where we reveal legends. The theme this year, 90s and 2000s. We're going to keep it going, and when you get back, the magic of TV, Luis will be sitting here. But let's take a look at our new legend.
Todd Helton, man.
Woo! Todd
Let's
Helton.
go.
Best Colorado Rockies player in history. Spent his entire career there, 17 years. We added Gary Sheffield as a Marlins legend. We're adding Helton as a Rockies legend. So, really great athlete. And proof of that is he played college football.
Yeah.
And for a minute there, Peyton Manning was his backup at quarterback.
That's right.
What?
Yeah. He started over him?
Are you serious?
For a minute, and then of course,
happened?
Peyton Manning, got on his path.
That's insane.
But so great athlete. That allowed him to, even though he played first base, he's a great athlete, and he won a few Gold Gloves. Obviously known for his hitting, though. I've got some stats here. One of only 5 players ever in a single season. He got 200 hits, 100 walks, 40 homers, 100 ribbies, 100 runs, 100 extra base hits.
Numbers.
It's ridiculous.
That's a lot of hundreds.
You like total bases? Little story. Back about 20 years ago, makes me feel old, but 20 years ago when I started to play fantasy baseball, I played in a league that rewarded total bases, not your traditional league, and he got 400 total bases in a year, a couple of years. Ridiculous, So Todd Helton, Rockies fans are going to be really happy, and we're really happy to add him to the show.
So, what are about his attributes? What can you tell us about kind of the player he was with all these numbers?
Hitting is ridiculous, but of course, something interesting. We mentioned he was a quarterback in college, so as a first baseman, he's going to have one of the best arms in the game.
His vision cone
elite.
is elite.
Vision cone.
Let me tell you
this
what.
guy. So one more stat. I would disappoint Ben if I didn't say this. Only player ever with 35-plus doubles in 10 straight seasons. Consistency.
Wow. Doubles machine.
Played his entire career with one team, a rarity nowadays. And he's our latest addition to MLB The Show. We're not done, though.
We're not done.
We're not done. We're going to add some more legends. Stay tuned. On Wednesday is our next stream. We're going to reveal someone there, and then we're going to reveal some more guys.
Let's take a look at the schedule here coming up on March 4th. We've got that March to October stream we talked about earlier on March 4th, top right of your screen there, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. We're also talking about presentation. You'll see more of that World Series stuff with Matt there celebrating with the trophy.
Yep.
And then on March 7th, that is a Saturday, we're going live from spring training in Arizona. We're going to be there with the DD gang. We're going to be talking about the previews, showdown mode. Luis said, new legends, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Stay tuned.
And the developer tournament, and we are so close to launch, guys. It's almost March. It's almost March.
Can't wait.
I can't wait for that dev tourney.
So custom leagues, Matt.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what everyone should take away from this.
I think I hope it's something that you guys all enjoy. We had really a lot of fun making it this year. The team worked really hard with our 9-month dev schedule that we had. I think this is something that's going to be this is something that we're always trying to improve on. And as a foundational piece, we want to hear what you guys think about it. We want to hear your feedback. And, I think there's a lot to offer this year that you guys will really enjoy. I mean, like I said, the community guys got their hands on it, and it was really enjoying, to me, to watch them personally have fun playing it. So
they were getting
I'm excited
feisty
for you guys to get your hands on it.
Cool.
Pretty soon.
So don't miss the stream. Make sure you're following and subbing to our channels, and we'll see you next Wednesday.